What's going on, guys? Nate, are you on here? Let's see you. How we doing? How we doing? Well, let me message Nate. You guys can unmute yourself. Be afraid to talk. Yeah, there we go.
Hey guys, what's
What's up,
up?
John? How you doing, man?
Hey. Yeah, good. Thanks. Thanks for putting this together.
Yeah, no problem. Excited to kick this off for you guys. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on with Nate. One second. Hmm. There he is calling me. One sec, guys. What's up, bro? Yeah, it's probably because you started. Well, no, you scheduled this meeting. Are you going directly through the link you sent in Discord? I just dropped it in Telegram. All right, sounds good. There you go. Sorry about that, guys. Technical difficulties.
There we go. I think we're all on. Perfect.
Yeah, there we go. Beautiful.
Let's see. 2:03. We'll give it like 2 minutes. We'll start in like 2 minutes, guys. We won't take too much time. How's everyone doing today? You guys doing good?
Yeah, doing well. Thank you.
Awesome. Good to hear. Good to hear.
Everyone else is being antisocial. Let's see. Super. Good to hear. Good to hear. Oh, what's up, Hugo? I like your eagle profile, bro.
Right. All right. Well, I guess we can get started, I suppose. A good amount of people on. We'll do some more of these meetings. I'm going to do another one tomorrow morning and another one Friday evening. Um, so for those of you watching, this is obviously recorded. Those of you watching after the fact, we're going to be holding more throughout the week. I'm not sure what time. We'll have to figure that out. But I'll stay on as long as you guys need to answer questions. This is sort of very, say the least, a really great opportunity that we have finally were able to put together. It's not something that we want to go quick with. Well, that's why we didn't have account management before, even when we started passing challenges, just because, we wanted to make sure that we were providing a very sound product and a really good service that has the highest probable chance to succeed. So how this essentially will work And we'll take questions at the end. Well, I mean, you guys can ask questions as you go. I have the chat here. It's not like StreamYard where I can't see the chat. I can see the chat here. But essentially, we have put together, and we have a whole team behind us helping us out with this. We have 60 different individual strategies that we're going to be running. The reason why we have so many is because obviously, if you're running just one strategy on many different accounts of the same prop firm that's being copy traded over, it's going to get flagged. And we have gone through every single scenario and tried to figure out a solution to the whole way around this thing. So we are currently partnered up with a few other teams who are kind of aiding in this process. So it's not just like a two-man job here. We're having a whole team behind us help us with this. So this has a lot of layers to it to make sure that this actually goes as planned. So these 60 strategies have been developed and refined and optimized over the course of a long period of time. They have been thoroughly tested, back tested, forward tested from top traders around the world. And these strategies will use in different ways. So it's not like, for instance, let's just say Aiden were to get an account, right? He wouldn't be running one strategy for the duration of the account. We're going to be switching different strategies based upon the performance throughout the month. So let's just say you start off week 1, week 2 is not doing so hot. We're going to be switching strategies throughout. This is a way that we can sort of diversify in a sense, but also provide a very highly probable return. So we're experiencing about 80 to 90% success. So let's just say we have 100 people having, one account each, right? So 100 accounts. Every single month, about 80 to 90 of those accounts will likely be in profit. We try to aim for between 2 to 4% monthly return. That's our goal. And then obviously the other 10, 20 accounts will either be in a little bit of a loss. We'll lose the account because obviously nothing is guaranteed, but having an 80 to 90% success rate on funded accounts across the board is pretty good in my opinion.
And if we do lose an account, then, I think Nate obviously mentioned it this morning as well, but we would then go in and pass your challenge, a new challenge for you, free. We're not going to pay for the challenge, but we're not going to charge you a service fee.
Yeah.
For passing that challenge.
Yeah. So we'll pass it for you. We'll get you to that funded account status again. And then obviously you have the option to waive the management fee. So it's free for us to manage. But essentially how that will work is if you want to waive the fee, because the fee is 1,000 USD for us to manage it, but you take 70% of all the profits and we keep 30. If you want to waive that fee, totally fine. So it'll be free for account management, but it'll be a 50-50 split. So obviously with Nova, the first month, Nova takes 50% of the profit. And then obviously we'll take 50% of your net profit after that. And then month 2, Nova takes 30%. So you keep 70, and then we'll keep either, again, 30 or 50, depending upon which kind of tier you go with. If you go with my Forex funds, we also do manage accounts for my Forex funds and FTMO and Funded Trader Plus and the Funded Trader. There's so many other prop firms that we manage accounts for, except for funding pips. We cannot do funding pips just because it wouldn't produce as much of a highly probable chance to succeed with it, just because of the rules that are applied on the funded account. So it's not to say that we can't manage it. It's just we don't want to take that chance of having it be like a 50-50. Like either you make profit or you lose it. It's not worth it. So we want to give the highest probable chance for you guys to make consistent money every single month. And that will average about 2 to 4%. Now, I'm not saying that that's what you can expect, but that's across all these different accounts over a long period of time. So one account may do 7%. One account may break even. One account may do 3%. One account may do 4, 2. But the thing is let's just say that I have an account, Aiden has an account, and then he has a different strategy than I am, but his strategy is producing way more returns than mine. Well, it's not to say that he's going to continue to use that strategy every single month. We're going to be constantly switching stuff around depending upon your progress and your overall return and drawdown. So obviously, if you're doing really, really well, obviously we're going to keep that strategy running. But at the same time, if you're not doing well, we're going to add different strategies onto your account to help you get back into profit or, stuff like that. So it's meticulously designed. We have a whole team that's managing it. In regards to not holding over the weekend, we are going to be closing all trades prior to the weekend, so we don't have to deal with that issue. So let me think if I'm missing anything. Oh yeah, so in regards to like the rules for account management as well, this is something that's extremely important. So unfortunately, you're not going to be able to log into your MT4 account with Nova, with MyForex Funds, FTMO, and view your progress. You can through your client dashboard on the website, but you cannot do it through the actual trading account. The reason why is because, let's just say, because I'm in the US, right? So my IP address for my account is located in Raleigh, North Carolina. Well, if we're being managed, because we have teams around the world managing it. So one team may be located in the Netherlands, one team may be located in London or Dubai. If Nova sees that there is a login in Raleigh, North Carolina, and then an hour later a trade is being placed in the Netherlands, well, obviously I can't get from here to the Netherlands in an hour. It's impossible. So they know that it's being copy traded or it's being somewhat of account management. So they're going to flag that. So in order for us to not have that IP address issue, please do not log into your account, your trading account. To view the progress, just log into your dashboard, just like you're logging into the website, and you get to see your progress through there. If you have any questions, we're able to log into and we can tell you anything you want to know about it. Also, when it comes down to profit splits, so you will have to let us know at least 1 to 2 business days, preferably at least 2 business days prior to you requesting a profit split. That allows us to go into the accounts and close off all the positions or run them down, because you can't have open positions while you're requesting a profit split. You're unable to do so. So we just ask that, whenever you want to take a profit split, you don't have to take your profit split right, the day that you're allowed to. You can wait and let it kind of compound over time. But when you do want to, you have to let us know. Just send me a message, then I'll get in contact with my guys, find your account, and then we'll start writing down those trades. After that, what we'll do is we will have access to your dashboard. So we're gonna be able to see exactly how much is requested, how much you got paid out, and we'll just send you an invoice for our share. In regards to
PayPal, mainly Stripe, we would prefer Stripe, but we could also do PayPal and potentially crypto. But Stripe would be preferred because that'll be credit card or debit card.
Right. In regards to those who, and this doesn't happen often, but I have to just say it, there has been 1 or 2 times in the past, from not with us because we've never done anything like this before, but with another group, that an individual who requested a profit split never ended up paying the profit split to the account manager. So we've put in specific measures just to make sure it's secure on our end, make sure that we get paid as well. So obviously, if you decide not to pay us our profit split, then obviously we'll not run our strategies on the account. But then we've also designed a bot that is specifically designed to blow the account. So don't have us do that. We don't want to do that. We'll just try to make it beneficial for everyone. But of course, if we're making you money, I don't see why it would be a problem. So we're currently working towards strategies and options to pass MyForex Funds and FTMO. Obviously, those specific prop firms don't allow HFT bots, which makes it a little more tricky. However, we're in contact with a few people who have really, really phenomenal products specifically designed for those prop firm challenges. So once we add that to the mix, that will be a really easy way to get funded with MyForex Funds, FTMO, and then we will also be able to manage the live accounts for those prop firms as well. So if you already have MyForex Funds or FTMO funded accounts and you'd like that to be managed, that's something that we can do as well. You don't necessarily have to go through us to get funded. If you already have an account through, there was a question that said, like, oh, I had another group pass my challenge. It wasn't through you guys. Can I still use you as a means to manage my account? Absolutely. So if you'd like us to pass your challenge and manage it, great. If you'd like us to just pass it, fine. If you'd like us to just manage it, that's okay too. There's just an array of options. But what we wanted to do is we didn't want to necessarily charge for account management, because again, you're already paying for the challenge, you're already paying for the service fee for us to pass it if that's the angle you want to go. And we didn't want to add anything extra. We give the option to have a higher profit split via 70-30, with that down deposit. However, for those of you who didn't want to upfront anything else, we totally understand. We don't want to put pressure on you guys to keep paying for things. We want to be able to account manage and help you guys make passive income every single month
Yeah,
for free.
and the idea is we only make money when you make money, right? That's behind
Right.
the whole no upfront thing, right? So it's obviously in our best interest to perform well, because when we make money, you're going to make money, vice versa.
Right. Let me go over. Okay, so statistics. I have this popped up in my computer here. So, okay, yeah. So again, like I said before, and I talked about it briefly this morning on our live session for those of you who were able to make it on. This is an investment. Every single investment comes with its set of risk, right? Nothing is 100%. However, passing your challenge is definitely 100%. Even though it's not technically 100%, we do give a money back guarantee in the sense that we will refund you your service fee and buy your challenge for you, like refund you the challenge fee, which I don't think any other group does. So in that sense, getting funded is 100% guaranteed. Now, the account management is not, obviously. So we try to get it as high as we possibly can statistically in terms of those who pass. So we're sitting at around 80, 90%. So a very, very high chance. Obviously, there will be people who lose. There will be people who fail. There's nothing we can do about it. I wish I could provide a 100% guarantee for this as well. It's just really not how the investment world works, and I know you guys know that. So please, if you can't afford to, purchase a challenge or whatever, just don't do it. It's not worth it, because obviously that money should be used for other things. Now, if you're able to, obviously, the saying, don't invest money you're not able to lose. If you have money readily available and you want to use this as that investment, then absolutely, I think it'd be a phenomenal investment, because it really could turn into a very high ROI investment. When we look at investments throughout the world, like, in private investment funds, hedge funds, they're really aiming for about 15 to 20% a year. Now, that is a really good return because it outbeats inflation, outbeats benchmarks. It really provides a passive income stream, and it produces a very good investment that can be compounded over a long period of time. So that is done very conservatively. However, of course, there's still risk involved in those investments as well. However, we're trying to narrow that gap and helping you achieve a risk-free investment the fastest possible way. So how we do that is, obviously, you have to pay for the challenge yourself. If you want to get funded through us, getting that guaranteed funded account, then obviously, there is a service fee that goes with that. So for Nova, for a $100,000 Nova account, I'll just run the numbers through to you guys so you can have a full idea of what to expect. So I think what is the challenge for Nova? 600 or 590 something? Let's just call it 600 bucks. You add an 825 service fee to that, so you're looking at 1,400 in total. So if you go with the 50-50 option of account management, you're not paying anything for account management. So essentially, your first month with Nova, you have to pay Nova 50% of the profit. That's just standard for Nova. After your first month, it goes to a 70-30, and I think your third month up to 80-20. So let's just go based upon that first month. So that 50-50, so essentially you have to double that amount, 1,400. So you're sitting at $2,800, because if you give half of that to Nova, you keep the rest, then you would cover the service fee and the challenge. However, since we're managing it on a 50-50, then we split that amount, so we have to double that again. So you're looking at making $5,700 on your funded account to then make it a risk-free investment. That's 5.7%, and that's just 1 month in regards to the 50-50 with Nova. Now, of course, if you're using my Forex funds or FTMO, who has an initial profit split of like 70-30, then that number is going to be significantly reduced. So let's just say you were using my Forex funds or some other prop firm, right? So if you're looking at 1,400, then I think it's like $2,100, $2,000 you'd have to make in order to break even after my Forex fund split. And then we would go 50-50 with that. So it'd be about 4,000, so about 4%. So essentially anywhere between 4% and 6% is what you're looking, we would have to make for you in order to pay the prop firm their fee, to pay our fee, and for you to essentially break even on paying for the service fee for us to pass it and the challenge itself. And that is, we're averaging between 2 to 4%. And I say that because that's just kind of what we've seen accumulatively on all the accounts. Now, there are some accounts that do 5%, 6%, 7% in a month. So you will have those outliers, but essentially what we're trying to say, between 1 to 2 months is when you can see that initial investment being recouped. Which 1 to 2 months making essentially 100% return on your investment would take 4 or 5 years in a traditional, hedge fund or investment fund. So we'll kind of look at it in that perspective. So let me see if people have questions.
Yeah,
So
Chadwick,
yes, we are doing.
we'll do 200K accounts as well, or any size.
Yeah.
Over 100.
Yeah, so we'll do 100, we'll do 200. If you have a 300K from another account or from another platform, we will do that as well. I think with my Forex funds and FTMO, I think you can have up to what, 600 grand under management?
Yeah, my Forex fund, 600 grand. You can have with them.
Yeah, and then there's no limit
So
to how many accounts that you can get. Yeah, say again, Chad.
1,000. There be no $10,000 accounts, $50,000 accounts?
It depends. That's something that we'll
option to get started.
Yeah, so that's something we'll look to do probably in the future. It really just depends on a few factors, just because since we have a ton of strategies, we're able to take on a lot of accounts because we can diversify the different strategies per different accounts. But once we start adding more prop firms throughout the way, that's really going to expand our availability to accept more accounts, which will then be able to go for those 10,000, 15, 20,000 or 25,000, 50,000 accounts. But for right now, for the start of it, we're only able to do 100 and up. But I don't see why we wouldn't be able to do anything lower later on. We just need to build more relationships with different prop firms, which we are in the mix of doing right now. But again, we want to make sure we're getting involved with the right prop firms and doing our due diligence first, because that's definitely very important. But that's definitely on the horizon. It's just not at this current time. But good question.
Let me know.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Let's see, falling into the 10, 20%, not doing profit, meaning the account is blown. So 10, 20% will either experience their funded account being lost or will end up in the negative for the month. So not necessarily meaning blowing the account. So next month could be profitable and we can get you back to break even or even make profit. So again, I would say maybe we'll call it 5 to 10% of people will probably lose the account. And that's just, in my opinion, that's really great because that has a very high initial success rate.
I mean, if you think about the traditional statistics behind prop firms, only 3% of people who are taking these challenges actually pass the challenges, and only 1% of those people make it to their first payout. So, if we have an 80-90% success rate, then that's destroying the game.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put that into perspective.
Right. So this is another good question. Do we have proof of back testing, forward testing? Yes. So I have a document that's 20 something pages full of FX Blues, my FX. I'm going to put something together for you guys to see as well, because I think that's a very valid question. But yes, we do. We're finalizing that document. It's really long, but yeah, if you guys want to see statistics, we can show you. However, we don't sell those strategies. We're not able to, but even if we wanted to, we probably wouldn't anyways. It's only used for the account management. He said, also if hedge funds give a really good return, and again, 15, 20% is a good hedge fund. If you can consistently do 15 to 20% per year. Now there are hedge funds that do 50%, 70%, but they'll have negative ones. They'll have negative years. They'll have break-even years. So on average, if you can consistently, and this is what investors really are looking for. They're not really looking for 50% years and then negative 10% years. They're looking for consistency. So if you can consistently produce 15, 20% per year, you're sitting really, really pretty. And that's statistically shown across thousands of hedge funds across the world. It says, so you're saying you could get around 1 to 4% per month, which is 12 to 48%. But again, hedge funds are managing billions and billions of dollars. We're not managing that amount of money. This is, 100 grand account, 200 grand account. So we would never, ever place that kind of risk on a $10 billion fund. It's just not, there wouldn't be enough liquidity in order to have those type of trades anyways. I'm not to say that the trades that were being placed on the accounts with you guys are risky. They're very low risk. They're going to be sub 0.5% risk for trades. However, what I'm trying to say is that hedge funds are very different when it comes down to how they make their return. Because they're managing such a large amount of capital that sometimes when you think about it, they're not trading the same way we are. So, I mean, even just a brief example, there's not enough liquidity at certain prices of certain asset classes for them to be able to have their full 10. They're not trading with a full 10 billion. Like they're allocating capital to different, they're diversifying their risks. So some may do really well, some may not do really well. They're not really physically trading like the Forex market per se. I'm sure there's specific allocation for that. It's a good question, but essentially the answer to it is they don't assume as much risk. Now, I want to confirm with our team if we're able to adjust risk per account. Or we may just leave it very standard, which is already very conservative in nature as it is. And naturally, it would produce about 2 to 4. When will we be ready to go? We're going to be starting on Monday. So we'll do another call tomorrow, do another call on Friday. And we'll talk about it again on Saturday's live session, in which we're going to break down trades for the trading net community and all you guys, if you want to hop on to prepare for next week. Let's see. I have bought your EAs. Can I also run that in addition to your management on Nova? No. You, again, I can't stress this enough. Please listen to this. You cannot even log into your trading account. Why? Because IP address issues. There's going to be different managers across different countries who are going to be managing your account. So we can't even have you log in. If you place a trade on it, I mean, you can, you're just going to lose the account. It's just going to be in violation. So just please don't even log in. You can log into your account dashboard. I know there's still going to be people who aren't going to listen to this and they're still going to do it. But I'm telling you, just don't do it.
It's in your best interest.
It's in your best interest. If we leave profit into compound, less of a chance to blow count, or, well, what I would recommend, Brian, is probably just to pull your profit every month. Just realize that return and restart at your initial starting balance. It's probably safest.
I got a question. Yeah.
Yes.
I got it. Just in regards to the funds that or the profit that we make, is there like an amount of like a personal account that you guys would look at managing? Like, I know we were talking about like the smaller prop firms, like the 10, 15, 25, 50K accounts. You guys might look at those in the future, but like, would it be different if we had our own like personal account that you guys manage? Is there like a threshold as far as
so we do have our own investment fund that's something we can definitely talk about that we do accept investors for.
I know the one. Yeah. Okay.
Right. We have a $2,500 minimum. But that, again, that investment, you would have to, that would be like a physical investment. Like you'd have to have $2,500 at least to put it. Obviously that's not the cost to get involved. That's just, it's still your money, but we're just, again, leveraging your capital to then make profit for us, but then giving you a split. So it's a 70-30 split within our investment fund as well.
Right.
So every profit that we make, we take 30, you keep 70. But yes, that good question. We do have that available.
Okay, and then just one other one while I got you is the $1,000, like the 1K. Where does that? I know you were starting to kind of go into the numbers, but where does the 1K fall in? Is that? Yeah.
So that's if this is sort of like a fee for the account managers in a sense. So it doesn't really go to us. It kind of goes to kind of pay the people who are helping us with this. This is for if you wanted a higher profit split. So if you wanted to start off with a 70-30, you keep 70% of all profits, we keep 30. You would just pay that down deposit of 1,000, and then you would have that for the life of the account. Now, I know a lot of people ask, well, can I start off with the 50-50, and then when I make profit on it, can I then pay the 1,000 to upgrade? Unfortunately, we don't do that. If you wanted to get a 70-30, then you'd have to either get a new account. I think that would be it.
Okay. Yeah. So like basically with your example of the Nova say $600 for a 100K account or whatever it was, then the 825 for you guys to pass the challenge, then it would be like 1K on top of that to get into the program, so to speak, right? Like if you went all in with all the services.
Yeah. So if you, right,
You
if you
wanted
wanted to
70-30.
get the funded account and then you take
Right,
70-30 split, then yeah, that would be
Yeah,
correct.
I
Now,
gotcha.
you don't have to, like, if you wanted to try a challenge yourself and pass it, you don't necessarily have to pay the 825 for us to pass it, but it's usually, easier just because we can guarantee that for you. But
Yeah, right
again,
on.
we don't want to force additional payment on top of the passing of the challenge to begin with, which is why we're offering the free version as well.
Mhm.
But I mean, you still get 50-50, which is still, I mean, on even 2, 3, 4% a month on 100, 200 grand account, still a lot of money.
Yeah, totally.
But
And so, yeah, if what top prop firms do you guys recommend? I know you guys dropped a bunch of names, but like Nova for sure would be like, with this whole program, like Nova and My Forex funds is kind of like the top two.
yeah,
Like, what
so
would be,
we currently work with funding pips and Nova funding to pass challenges, just because we're able to utilize a specific algorithmic bot to place on your account to provide that guarantee that we pass it. But we can't, or we don't want to manage accounts for funding pips just because of the rules that are on the funded accounts. With Nova, the only rule is you can't hold over the weekend, but we have strategies that don't need to do that. So currently right now, if you want to start fresh, like buy a challenge, us pass it, then we would need to go with Nova. Very credible, very reliable prop firm. We know their executive team very well. However, in terms of My Forex funds and FTMO, we currently don't have a product yet that helps pass the challenge. So as of right now, you could try a challenge yourself, and if you pass it, we could then manage it. If you already have a funded account with FTMO or My Forex funds, we could manage that. But we're not able to pass challenges yet for FTMO and My Forex funds. So only right now it's Nova that we can guarantee that you would be passing.
okay.
Yeah.
And then, man, it seems like I got just a ton of questions here. And then I know some prop firms don't offer like 1 to 100 leverage. Like there's some that are just like 1 to 20 or like maybe 1 to 30. Will that affect? Is that something we should keep in mind when we select the prop firm as well?
No, just because, I mean, if you think about it, how leverage works is essentially it's about a 1 to, what is it, a 1 to 10 or 1 to 5 or something like that is like 5 lots per $10,000 of account balance or something like that. So we're not using nearly that amount of volume.
I wouldn't do 1 to 10, but I don't. Most aren't 1 to 10. I don't think. I think most are at least 1 to 30, 1 to 50, 1 to 100. I mean, would be ideal just to just in case, but it shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
Nova is 1 to 100, and I think My Forex funds and FTMO are about the same.
They are, yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's Surge Trader. I don't know if you guys have had any luck with those guys, but I think they're like 1 to 30 maybe, but
Yeah, it really just depends. It really actually, I mean, we can manage accounts for other prop firms. It really just depends on if there's any funded account rules. In terms of passing the challenge, they will need to allow high frequency trading bots so we could go in and pass that. So again, just because they allow EAs doesn't mean that we can use our HFT bot on the challenge itself.
okay. So yeah, to be safe, right now Nova is like all in with everything that you guys offered. If I was to like buy a challenge like Friday or something and then pass it and then hand it over to you guys, Nova there'd be no issue.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We've already had tons and tons of payouts for Nova as well. I can even show you a few of them.
Yeah.
Again, we're only in for very credible prop firms. We don't like first class Forex funds. That was an option for us, but I would never promote that to you guys because they're awful.
Yeah. I had bad experience with them.
And we are working on the final set file for our EA to pass My Forex fund. So that'll hopefully be within the next couple of weeks too, guys. So that's something to look forward to. Timmy, I saw your question about taxes.
Hold on 1 second, Aiden. Yeah, did someone say something?
Yes, sir. I did have one question. Will there be like a printout or some type of PDF or document to go over the pricing options for your service?
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna put everything in the Discord. I just feel like that's where everyone is located usually.
Yeah.
I may even put together like a Word document or a PDF just to make it easy. But yeah,
Charlie's
everything will
working
be in
on
the
a
Discord
Discord
within the
page.
next couple of days.
Yeah, Charlie's
Okay. All right.
currently working on that in the background.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Mhm.
Timmy, I saw your question about taxes. I know since you're in the States, obviously with the prop firms, you're not getting 1099 from the prop firms like you would from a traditional like US based brokerage. You get, a 1099 at the end of the year for dividends and interest and all that stuff. And so, the prop firm payouts would be Schedule C income unless, you probably would want to, what I would recommend is consult your CPA, but because we're not tax advisors. But what I can say is would probably be in your best interest would be to set up an LLC and register, your prop firm account under your business, under your LLC, and then that's the invoice payments are deductible. Best in the States. Yep.
Yeah, that's yeah. And it's really so simple to set up an LLC.
Yeah, it's like
It really is.
$45. In South Carolina, it's very easy.
Yeah. You'll have like maybe $100 or $200 a month annual fee, but that's it. Let's see.
Yeah, set everything
So-
up under your business, guys. Like especially if you're in the States. I mean, I don't know how it works in other countries. I think it's very similar in Germany, probably. But you can pretty much justify any expense as a business expense as long as you save your receipts. And there's a few rules that that have to be met. But literally, it saves you so much money in taxes at the end of the year when you can deduct all these expenses, and then lowers your taxable income that flows through to your personal return. Where you can then even take the standard deduction. It's way smarter to set up everything, even from an asset protection standpoint, under an LLC.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see, what about account? Good question, Danny. So what about an account gets blown and we paid for the 1K for the 70-30 split? Does the 70-30 split roll onto the new account we would have to pay for it? That's a good question. As it stands right now, unfortunately not, but it depends on if I could just figure something out for that, because that would ideally, I want to try to help you guys the best possible way. So if I could work that into it, potentially, don't quote me on it, but I'll try, see what I can do with it.
Yeah, that would be ideal.
Yeah, so that'll be kind of floating up in the air right now. Let's see, because you end up with a lot of money very quickly doing this, potentially unlimited. Yes and no. I mean, as of right now, you essentially, even if you maxed out on the amount of accounts you could get, it's essentially unlimited for you. Yeah, because we're going to be partnering up with other prop firms. Therefore, we're able to take all of those strategies and then essentially kind of have X amount of accounts per prop firm based upon all the strategies. So we could probably accept up to 50 or 60 accounts per prop firm at this point. So we're sitting really good there.
Yeah, maybe
MFF is my Forex funds.
Yeah,
We're going to compile a list of different prop firms that we could potentially utilize. But this is going to take probably a few weeks to a month or so. So it's not really in the near future. So as of right now, if you have a funded account for my Forex funds or FTMO, or I think TFT, is that what it is? The funded trader, we're able to manage those accounts, but we're not able to pass those challenges yet. We are able to pass and manage Nova funding accounts, which in all reality, it's the same credibility, the same reliability, the same process. It's just a different product. So, and yes, we do take cryptos as well.
perhaps I can explain starting off in drawdown. So, like, for example, we're not going to take on any accounts that are greater than 2.5% drawdown. So like with, for example, a 100K account, then that would be 97.5. And how it's going to work is to claw you out of drawdown, right? That would require us to make 2,500. And so after we get back over break even, right, and get you profitable and getting payouts, there will be a one-time invoice for our respective profit split on the amount that we had to make to get you to break even, right? So if it was 2,500 and then let's just say the profit split is, 50-50, when we made 2,500, the prop firm technically would have taken, depending on your phase, right, 50 or 70, we deduct that, and then we take our 50% or 30% from that amount as a one-time invoice payment. So hopefully that makes sense, but we'll lay out those details in the Discord as well.
Essentially, you're not having to pay out of pocket. That's what you're worried about. It's
They'll be
only
active,
just, yeah.
I'm sorry, you were not having to pay what out of pocket? I missed that part.
Like, for instance, if let's say you're at 98,000, so you're in 2% drawdown on a 100K account, then if we make
When you start out.
$2,000 that month, you wouldn't have to pay the profit split on that out of pocket, because, well, essentially you can only take profit when you get above the break-even mark, so above the initial investment. So let's just say at the end of the day, that the prop firm would take half your first month and we would take another half. So you would keep whatever that amount is. So on a 2,000, like 98,000 and to 100 grand is $2,000 difference. So that's 2%. So if you started off in 2% drawdown, that means what would we have taken as a profit split to get you to break even? And that's $500. Because 2,000 your first month, half of that goes to Nova, and then the other half goes to us. So you would keep 500. We would keep 500 essentially. So essentially the first $500 of your profit would go to us. So essentially when we get back above break even and we make profit on that account, and let's just say at the end of it, you're paid out $750 of your split specifically, then we would take 500 of that, because that was the commission to get you out of the drawdown, if that makes sense.
That's
So again,
only if you're starting out in drawdown. Like if we have a negative month, we're not going to, and we claw you out of that drawdown, then we're not going to give you send you a one-time invoice for clawing you out. It's only if you come to us at the outset with an account that's already in that drawdown.
If you're in profit already, let's just say you're sitting in profit, we only take profit on the amount of profit we make.
Understood.
So,
Understood.
Yeah. I would just recommend not starting out in drawdown if you can.
Start fresh.
Yeah. I mean, if you have less than 2.5, if you're sitting at 2 or 2.5, it's up to you. I would say that, with Nova, you have what? Well, I guess, it is 4% daily, 8% max. So you do have wiggle room. But again, your chances of succeeding go down, not significantly, but mathematically they do if you're starting off in the negative already. Let's see, E8 funding. Here's what you guys can do. If you want to send a list, here, I'm going to type in my Telegram for anyone who doesn't have it. Send me a message for those accounts that you already are funded with that you would like managed. So like E8, right? I don't know what E8 is. I can do some research later and see if it would meet the rules for our strategies and see if that would be a potential. Maybe that would help. But as of right now, it stands the funded trader, my Forex funds, FTMO, Nova. If there are other ones, which I'm sure there are, I would have to do research first. So just send me those prop firms so I can take a look at it.
And then we're going to set up this afternoon a spreadsheet to start putting people in queue for starting next Monday. So if you are ready to get rolling with it, just shoot us a message on Telegram. Charlie should have the type form. I think he has the type form ready. Right, Nate? And so we can roll with the type form as well. But just to get an idea, start getting people in queue, we can set up a spreadsheet. We get some names in there and a list going.
Yeah, Brian. Yeah. So is there going to be a cap on the amount of people you can accept? So there will be naturally. But I mean, you guys are going to be the first one. So there will be room. I'll just say that. There's probably going to be a cap of anywhere between 40 and 60 accounts for Nova, and the same for the other platforms.
And that's why we're really marketing it internally at the moment for you guys first.
Yeah.
Where we kind of branch out to, right? And we already know a lot of you guys, right? And we want to see you guys succeed. So first come, first serve though.
I have a 100K account with Nova. My profit is currently around 7K. You guys will send invoice only on the profits you guys generate. That's awesome, bro. Congrats on your 7K profit. What I would say is get your profit split first. Don't risk it. Take your money and run, and then we'll start fresh with 100. And unless you want us to start, I mean, if you really want us to start, managing it with 107 grand, yes, we'll only take profit on the amount that we generate. But since you're already up 7, you might as well just wait for your first profit split to ensure that you have essentially covered your initial investment costs. Just mitigating risk, essentially what it is. How many accounts can you have? I think with Nova, you can only have up to $200,000 worth of funding. So either one 200 grand account or 2 100 grand accounts. I will say that if that's something that you would want to do, I would recommend getting 2 100 grand accounts, even though it would be technically more expensive to buy. I think it would cost $200 more, because 2 100 grand is 600 a piece, 1,200, 200 grand is like 1,000. So it costs $200 more. What I could do is, if you wanted to do that, I could give you a discount on, I could just charge you for the 200 grand passing instead of 2 100 grand. If that makes sense. It just makes it better, because let's just say, for instance, you're one of those unlucky people who we end up losing for. You also have another account that could help you dig out that loss, right? Again, success rate is very high. So I'm not trying to scare you guys, but again, there will be people who will fail. There will be. It's going to happen. I wish I could help everyone make money guaranteed. It's just not possible anywhere in this world. There has to be some sort of risk involved, right? But that's why we don't start these things until we know that we at least hit a certain threshold of success before we feel comfortable with promoting something. So let's see, how many fresh accounts can I have with Nova? Yeah, so again, 1 200K or 2 100 grand. Would you guys adjust risk accordingly? Let's see, adjust risk accordingly to a standard sequence of drawdowns, or is it a flat risk percentage? So it's going to be a flat risk percentage, but it's also very, very low to start, like 0.2 to 0.25 to 0.5% a trade. And how it's going to work is really interesting, because we're going to be monitoring these accounts throughout the week, throughout the month, right? We have a whole team. If you happen to be in profit, we're going to continue trading with that strategy. If you're in a little bit of drawdown, or it's moving a little slow, we may switch out strategies, add strategy to your account that you didn't have before. It kind of helps to get rid of the bad ones while it's not doing so well, and then put on a better one to kind of help mitigate some risk in that sense. But again, it's not to say that one strategy is worse than another. One strategy may perform well, one strategy maybe not so well, or so-so, but then that so-so strategy could perform really well the next one, right? So it's all going to average out to be about the same. How does this compare to using your EAs on a funded account? What is the advantage? Well, the advantage is because our EAs, we have to be able to hold over the weekend. But with our EAs, yeah, if you have a MyForex Funds account or FTMO account that you want to use our EAs on, because there is no EA rule, risk rule, news rule, or weekend rule for MyForex Funds or FTMO, then yeah, our EAs would work perfectly on this.
FTMO swing.
Yeah, FTMO swing accounts. But I will say that our EAs are designed to be very, very conservative, like extremely conservative. So like 1 to 2% a month. Now, of course, we can adjust the risk to whatever you want, but again, the higher the return, the higher the risk. I start with a 50-50, then pay later for 70-30. Unfortunately not. It'll be for the life of the account. But if you wanted to get another account at a later point and take the profits that you made, do it like that, then yeah, you could get another account with a 70-30. $10 to 20% risk of the account break even gets blown each month. Yeah, just about. We're sitting at about 80 to 90% success. So 80 to 90% of everyone will get a payout, essentially. Well, the risk diminish. So are you talking about like the risk for our strategies? I mean, the strategies have been around and have been developed for a long time now. They're not new. I would say that depending on where you are, we may reduce risk on your account, increase risk a slight tad, or keep it the same, just depending upon how well you're doing or whatnot. Stuff like that. You think, am I missing anything? Okay. I think I hit on everything, but again, I know people have kind of come in as we go. So I'm going to hit on the most important things again, really quick. When it comes down to, can you trade the account alongside us managing it? No, because IP address problems. Do not even log into your trading account. That's a big no-no, because if they detect wherever you are in the world that you logged in that location, and then we're in a whole other continent trading and managing your account, that's going to be an IP address problem, and it's going to get flagged and you're going to get a violation. So it's in your best interest to just log in through your dashboard. So if you're a Nova funded account, just go to the website, Nova Funding, and then log into your account. You can see the statistics. It provides a whole breakdown. So you can just kind of track it as you go. It updates real time. So you'll be able to track everything there.
And if you already have a live account that you've been trading, log out on all devices. And
yes, log out.
There's a few days before we start trading it.
Yeah, so that's why we're going to start Monday, to give you guys time to, whatever account you want us to manage, to log out of it. Close all the trades and then log out, just because we want a few days to pass before we start trading in different parts of the world, so that there is no possibility of it getting flagged, the IP address issues. I mean, it will stay around 80 to 90% or continue to get better. Well, that's why I say an average. Over the past 4 months that we have been testing, it's been about that average. So, I mean, it just depends on the strategy. If we can bring on better strategies, then I'm sure we could probably have a higher percent. But again, this is over a long period of time across all the strategies. It's about that range. It's probably going to stay about that.
We're always
Like
seeking
the law of averages.
to improve and diminish risk as much as possible. It's always an ongoing effort.
But again, I mean, let's just think about it from a pure, like, when would I break even on my investment? If you want to start from scratch, 100 grand account, $600 it costs for a challenge, $825 for the service fee for us to pass it. You're looking at $1450, essentially. So first month with Nova, you get a 50, they take 50, you take 50. And then if you went with the free account management, we take 50, you take 50. So essentially 1450 times 4, because that's, if you like with math, you double it with the 50-50 Nova, double it with our 50-50. So we're sitting at like 40 set fair, 57, 5,800. So that's 5.8%. So that could be achieved if you're one of the lucky accounts, could be achieved in a month. If you're not as lucky, maybe in a month or two. But again, recouping your initial investment in 2 months, even 3 months. I think that's really cool. Will this outperform signals all around? It's so yes and no. Maybe yes in the short term, but no, it probably will average to be about the same. Just because like you could have a losing streak with signals like we've had before, but then you could also hit a really good trade like with CAD-J and UJ and ACAD and NCAD, like that we've been seeing. So it just depends. You could get one account that you take the signals with and one account that you let us manage. It's all dependent upon what you guys want to do. Like, do you feel comfortable with taking our trades? Do you feel comfortable with trading yourself? Do you don't have the time to do it, or you just don't want to do it and you'd rather have it managed? So it's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, this is a completely passive income opportunity for you guys to set up a passive income stream.
Yeah.
That's just all personal preference, really.
Mhm. Let's see, any other questions, guys? Did I miss anything? I'm not quite sure. I think I hit on everything. Yeah, be sure when you request a profit split, you have to let us know like at least 1 to 2 days prior to requesting it, just so we can go into the account, make sure all trades are closed on our end. And we have software that will track like when the account balance goes back down to its original amount. So we'll know exactly when you do take your profit, just FYI. But then we'll send you an invoice. It'll be really easy once we get going. I know it may sound complicated because it's just a lot of information all at once, but yeah. But yeah, there are no maximum number of accounts you could have like with us. Obviously there is for like Nova, you can't have more than 200 grand managed. You can't have more than 600 grand managed on my Forex funds. Like we can have as much as the prop firm will allow you to have. And so I think I see where the waiting lists be posted. Yeah, so we won't need a waiting list right now just because we have a lot of room. Once we start hitting a certain threshold, we'll probably have to cap it. But that's why we're letting you guys know first. And once we do cap it, if more people come in later on, we'll just add you to a list. And once we have more spots available or open, we'll then contact you. Or people on the list will
I think you just meant the queue, like to get signed up.
Oh, sorry. Just let us know. So let me see. You'll have to fill out a little type form on the Discord. So don't worry about that right now. That'll be taken care of over the next few days.
Yeah.
And you'll have to like because you'll have to send your some contact information, just like your phone number, your Telegram, your Discord, or just one of those, just so we can have constant communication between you. You'll have to send your funded account username and password, and also the dashboard username and password. So like when you actually created an account with the prop firm, I think it may be like your email and then the password that you created. We'll have to have that because that's how we can go in and track the progress and make sure everything's running correctly. Do I know how a big part of those 10 to 20% is actually a blown account? I'd probably say, I mean, I really don't have the numbers in front of me. Let's just say that all of them. Let's just make it like that. I don't want to, let's just say all of them. Not all of them are, but again, just for like worst case scenario, let's just say worst case scenario, 80% pass, 20% makes it easy.
Yeah, I think honestly in the beta test phase, it was the blown accounts were morons who signed into the account themselves and traded it in addition to the management.
Yeah. Yeah, so don't log out of all your, just the account that you want managed, you'll have to log out of all your devices. Don't even log into your trading account. You can log into your dashboard to track it. Alrighty, it is 3 Eastern. Do we have any last questions? I'm gonna be holding another one of these probably tomorrow morning. Obviously, you guys, you're already on today, so you won't need to hop on unless you want to. Because we're just gonna be going over the same stuff. Probably do tomorrow morning around like 9 or 10 Eastern time. And then Friday, for those who are in Australia, we'll probably do one in like 5 or 6 p.m. Eastern Friday. All right, so next steps. That's all I have for you guys. If you're good to go, feel free to hop off. But next steps would be, if this is something you're interested in, just send me a message for now, just so I have you within my Telegram messages, just so I can keep track of everything. We're gonna get everything uploaded to the Discord, hopefully by tomorrow at the latest on Friday, just so we can then start with the queue, meaning you would then go in and fill out the form, either pay for the 70/30 or just get it for free. You just have to fill in some information. We'll get all the information from you. We'll put it into the queue, and then we'll begin trading on Monday. So at this point, you can just reach out and say, hey, sounds good, I'm interested, cool. But until like tomorrow or Friday, you guys don't have to worry about doing anything right now. I DM you on Discord and said, yeah, that's fine. You can just send a message anywhere, it doesn't matter where. For those of you who have already messaged me, I already have your contacts, so you guys are good. All right, well, that's all I have, guys. Appreciate your time today.
Beautiful.
Really exciting stuff. Like I said before, we're going to do our best that we can. Even though we're doing really well with it, the success rate's really high. Again, I can't guarantee anything. It's an investment. It has risk associated with it. If you end up failing the account, if you're one of those unlucky people, and if you wanted to do it again, we won't charge to pass your challenge. You'll have to buy your own challenge, but we'll pass it for you for free. And then we can even manage it for free if you do the 50/50. And again, the person who asked about, if we fail it and pay the 1,000 for the 70/30, could we get the 70/30 for free for the next account? I'm gonna check in on that. It's going to run through a few things and see if that's a possibility. All right. Well, I appreciate your time, guys. We'll talk to you guys later. Have a good rest of your day.
Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Thanks,
Peace.
guys.
Cheers.